Hello viewers, welcome back. We are now looking at conditional formatting. So what we want to do here is in these cells here, from cell F35 to L35, we want to put in conditional formatting so that they change colors whenever they are over 110 million. So let's jump into this and get this done. So the first trick for conditional formatting is make sure that you have selected the cells first that you want the conditional formatting to apply to. So far for us, we are going to start from cell F35, and that's what we've highlighted. So start from here. We can highlight from here. We can either use the shift key, hold down the shift key, then use the right arrow. You'll be moving like that. Or you can start from that F35, you hold down Control and Shift at the same time, then you hit the right arrow. It will take you direct. So those are the two shortcuts that you can use. Now we are going to go up into the menu. We need to go into the menu bar. So for us to access the menu bar, we use the Alt key. So we go to Alt and it brings those letters. Then we go to Home, because we know conditional formatting is within the Home section of the ribbon. So we go to Home, and now we want to head up over here, and we can see where there is conditional formatting. You can see there is L, letter L. So L is for conditional formatting. So we tap L. When you tap L, this dialog box comes up, and that dialog box, when it comes up, you will see that there are lots of pre-programmed options in there. You can see we can highlight sales rule, top stroke button rules, data bars, color scales, icon sets. So there are so many things that we actually see from that point. So there are so many things that are within that section. But what we want to go down all the way here where it says new rule. Here where it says new rule, or you can tap the N key. When you hit the N key, then you will see this dialog box. It will come up. Now if you are in this stage, or if you are within this dialog box, we are going to get so much more control over the formatting rule, because this is where we can be able to be flexible on whatever formatting that we want. So we are going to use the down arrow to get right here to this last option. We use the down arrow to go to that last option, which says use a formula to determine which cells to format, and then hit the tab key. If you hit the tab key, it takes you to, it gets the cursor right into here, this place, format values, where this formula is true. This is where it takes you. So it puts the cursor there, and which is where we are going to build the formula. So here is another part of the trick for conditional formatting. Let's now use the arrow keys. We want to use the arrow keys to highlight the cells. We want to use the arrow keys to highlight these cells. So when we are at that F35, so we've used the right arrow and it has taken us to that cell F35. And that F35, we can see that in there, we are seeing we have dollar sign. Notice the dollar sign that we have there. These dollar signs mean that that cell is locked in place. So, since this cell is locked in one place, we need to remove those dollar signs. One way is to tap the F4 key a couple of times. You hit the F4 key a couple of times, but you may find when your F4 key is not working. Because if you hit that F4 key 3 times, it will remove all those dollar signs. So we need now to just maybe move a little bit and we remove these dollar signs. We can now see that these dollar signs, they have been removed. And now we can see that F35, we are seeing that the dollar signs are now off. So since those dollar signs are now off, we want to put in here the formula, because we are putting in formulas here. What we are going to do, we wanted that F35 to be unlocked. So we are going to now, because the reason for removing those dollar signs, we want this conditional formatting to be able to move through the selection. So what we are going to do, but we are starting from F35. So what we are going to do, we are going to say greater than. So we look for that greater than symbol. Shift that. Greater than. So we put in those greater than symbols. So it's great. We put in greater than symbol. And now we can use the cursor to go over here to cell D35. Greater than that. So we want F35 unlocked with no dollar signs. And we also want D35 completely locked with dollar signs. Now, let's switch over to the mouse, because this will be a little bit easier for the next steps if you are using the mouse. Now that we have the formulas in place, what we are going to do, we are going to go over here where it says format, and we click on format. And when you click on that format once, you will see that dialog box. That dialog box will come up. So we could do the font color right here, because we need also to change the colors. But first of all, we want the font to be bold. So let's now go down here and define a color. So we are now in that format where we are going to define the color that we are going to use. So what we are going to do, we have to go all the way down here to more colors. Then we leave the standard and we go to customize, because we need to put in that RGB code so that we can make sure that at least we have something that is defined, because we know some of these codes for the colors that we prefer to use. So we are going to go into this place and we can put in there 250. That is the code for red. And then here we can now use the tab key to move down to green. Green is 98. We type in 98, and then the last one we hit the tab key and we go to blue, which we put 28. Because this it's like we are just mixing up colors to have something that we really like. So we've defined the custom colored font that matches our preferred guiding principles. So let's click OK from this point there. So the color is now selected. You can also see from here. The color is now selected. It's a dark orange, because that dark orange, even just mere looking at it, it really piques your attention. So that font color will be good for us. Now let's go over here and click on fill color. Let's go and click on fill color, and again we are going to go down here where it says more colors here, and we want to define our customize fill color. So we go to customize, custom fill color, and again we match our company colors, or the colors that we prefer. So let's start from right here. Right there, let's put in 253. Then from here, we can use now the tab key. We put in 203. We use the tab key downwards, and again we can put in 180, just like that, and we've gotten that GRB code in there. So it is also a little nice orange. It's light orange. So let's go and hit OK from this point. So again, we can also click OK to this dialog box. Now we've gotten the format that we wanted. So since we've gotten this format that we wanted, we can also go ahead and click OK, or we hit the enter key, because we want also to close off this dialog box. So we can also see that this is working really nicely. You are seeing those values that are above 110 million, they are here. They are all highlighted. So we are seeing that those values are now highlighted as we wanted. So the two values at the end in cell K35 and L35 are the values that are over 110, and they are the ones that are getting highlighted. So the reason as to why we are highlighting some of these values is because most of the times we use this EBITDA to make sure that at least you find the profitability of the business, because it will give you the earnings before you pay off the interest, before you take off the taxes and all the other depreciation and amortization expenses. It's like the profit from the operation, more or less like that. So that's what we wanted to do for now, but we need also to test what we've done. Maybe we'll try to do a toggle around those cells that we set here. If we try to change our value, if we go over to this cell D35 and we change that value, maybe we try to change the toggle, and let's say maybe we put that figure maybe down a little bit, and let's say we put it at let's say 80 million. If you put this value at 80 million, you'll find that these other values are also going to be highlighted. If you put it at 90 million, you find that this value will not be highlighted. If you put it at 70, even this value will be highlighted. So we are seeing that these values are actually dynamic. So let's now take that figure back to where it was, 110, and we remain with the other two values that we had before. So there are a couple of things that we want to remember with conditional formatting. 1. Recall that we selected all those cells from F35 to L35 at the beginning before we program the conditional formatting. So it applied to all the cells, and then we selected this cell right here, the D, this cell right here, the F35, and we made sure that it was unlocked with no dollar signs so that it could move across and do the test on all the cells. But we also made sure when we referenced this cell of D35, we made sure that that cell had dollar signs. Actually, for that one we put in dollar signs. The reason is because we really wanted that to be locked. In other words, to always be locked in one place. So conditional formatting can be really helpful because it can help you really highlight certain things in a financial model, and it also operating in a dynamic way, so that if maybe we try to change the limit and maybe try to change the formats, then we can also have those updates change instantly. So let's jump into the next video and look at how we can make a label dynamic, as well as the other things that we've done in this financial model, which is really interesting. So we'll see you in the next video where we are going to look at dynamic labels. We'll see you there.